is we're going to put brush on the inside, all the way to the top with it.
Okay.
We're going to back out all this stuff in Firebot.
Okay.
We're going to put a camera on the inside of it.
Okay.
And that's going to kind of give us a close-up view of exactly what kind of shape the inside of the venting system is in. See if there's any like warping, buckling, disconnected joints, what type of previous servicing there might have been, or any damages caused by it.
Okay.
While I'm here, I might attempt to contact the dealer, as long as everything appears to be otherwise serviceable, and see about the possibility of getting a grate.
That was what I was going to ask, is how do we go about getting the proper grate?
Sure. I might also see if they can get replacement screens. Generally speaking, the tracks for the screens, yeah, they're just held in with a couple of Phillips head screws, so that shouldn't be an issue. But your panels look okay, so I try to do that. Okay, I'll be back.
What made you decide to be a chimney sweep?
I like blue collar work, and when I figured out that they were hiring, I decided why not.
Okay.
I like working with my hands, and there's a lot of cool science behind it too. So, it's a bonus.
That's respectable.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
Oh,
I
it's
just-
okay.
it's a fair question.
It is. I respect it. So,
So with you sleeping at, what would you rank it as for dirtiness, or as for like this chimney?
from what I've seen, it wasn't that bad. I've seen chimneys have like 6 gallons of creosote.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm stopping in each one of the joints to make sure that they're not out of round or disconnected. And then before I move up, I'll take a look up to see if it's warped sections.
Would they get warped from the heat?
They could, yeah. That is something that happens eventually. These builder boxes like this have a limited lifetime of serviceability. And that limited lifetime is sometimes made more limited by frequency of use or abuse.
And then the whole thing's got to be replaced, yanked out and
That's
replaced.
correct. Yeah. Sometimes you get lucky, like with a fire grate, screens, or glass door, or something like that, where it's a consumable part, or the refractory panels that are in it, where it's a consumable part and it can be replaced. As long as the manufacturer is still in business, and this particular product was discontinued not more than 10 years service. Any UL listed product, which this is, it falls under what's called UL 127. Anytime a manufacturer discontinues a product, you're required to keep replacement parts on the shelf for no less than 10 calendar years. But with a lot of these builder boxes, like this one, they make new models, they trash fairly new models pretty quickly. They go through a process of, like units like this are made to be affordable and easy to install, but they don't really have the longest lifetime of serviceability. So they end up finding out, well, X amount of this model has been reported to have been pre-encountered to a chimney fire or a house fire or whatever. We need to alter a couple of things and then we need to send it back. So they'll take the G36 and they say, well, we got too much hot air up through the outlet of the fireplace, so we're going to install a baffle. They'll put a baffle in it. Now it's no longer the G36, it's the GB36. And if I try to put G36 parts in it, now I'm voiding the warranty. Even though it's the same thing with an extra part. If the replacement parts aren't labeled for use in the GB36, then I can't do it. Additionally, when they list and test it, it is designed in so specific a fashion, any type of alteration away from what the manufacturer requires can change your minimum clearance requirements to your detriment. If you say your back panel right now is cracked, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't get my hands on a manufacturer-made back panel. I can't replace it. Put a one-size-fits-all in there. Its thermal radiation or conduction properties are likely going to be different than those of this very particular one. What that means for the box is, when they built it, listed, and tested it using those specific parts, they found that it was suitable to place wood as close as an inch to the outside of the box. Well, now if I have a panel in there that allows more thermal energy passage through it, that wood that was okay at an inch away might need to be 2 inches away. But it's already there. It's already built. We can't adjust what's inside of the wall. So we just use the fireplace. And eventually what happens over time is the wall catches. That's why the manufacturers, they really love to free themselves of any and all liability by stating on their operator's manual, any deviation from the listed supplies or methods of use could result in injury or death. So what that means is if you don't do it exactly the way that they said it, it's your fault.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense after I thought about it a little bit, because I used to be in the computer drafting industry, and for about 10 years, I did gas station design, and not only physical, what you see above ground when you go to get fuel, but everything that's connected between the tank and that dispenser. And everything is very specific. There's certain codes for that. And you can't use one or another. You have to use this with this. And it, to me, in my mind, it's the same principle.
Yeah. And what will happen is manufacturers will say, you can use this manufacturer's part listed as this in conjunction with us, a manufacturer, if you're not using our manufacturer's parts. So like they'll build the firebox and they'll say you can vent it through this chimney, or this chimney. And they don't list but 3. So if you're venting it through any other chimney, you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dangerous. And they're specific like that for very good reason. You think about the average homeowner, they go and, okay, well, I want a fire tonight. Sure, build a fire. Usually they don't think twice about it. But what they're not aware of is pyrolysis happening, say, in the wall or where the house touches the chimney or on the bottom side of the firebox or anything like that. The header that runs across the top of the unit, that's a big one. Matter of fact, that's one of the leading causes of a wall fire for a factory-built firebox. They don't see those things. They just see the fire. And they think, oh, it's nice and pretty and it's exactly what I wanted. And now I've had my fire. I'm going to wake up, rinse and repeat, and we'll do it all over again. Well, 100 fires later, that wood that's now too close to the firebox has seen a lot of heat. It's way dry. It's probably even charred. It wouldn't take much at all for it to catch on fire. And a fire in your wall it's potentially something that your kitchen fire extinguisher is not going to be able to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Think about all the combustible products used to make a house, and then the fact that you are facilitating a fire inside of a giant matchbox. It might take more than a fire extinguisher. I'm going to contact the manufacturer and see if we can't get our hands on some replacement parts.
Okay.
It's probably going to take me. Camera out.
Okay.
How often would you recommend doing what you just did?
Once a year.
Once a year. Okay. That's kind of what I had in mind.
You wouldn't mind just backing up and pulling tarps and vacuum, and then I want to get on the phone with either the manufacturer or the nearest dealer and see what they've done for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks to Black Goose for this great cleaning and explanation of everything. This report that they've given specifies that they removed about 3 cups worth of creosote, which was all stage 1, light and powdery. And as previous discussions with them, I've learned that that's from burning wood that is extremely dry. I do have a moisture meter now, so I check my firewood, and it's usually in the single digits. And burning dry wood is what's most important for keeping creosote, which is what you want to keep out of your chimney. And that's why you're cleaning it and having inspected.